I'm Ibrahim Abalde. Thanks for joining us on the program. I'm joined by my colleague Julde Njai and Mr. Ade Drame, our head of news department. Gentleman and lady, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Balde. Good morning.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's always good to share this platform with you and Mr. Ade.
I'm loving the touch on the new outfit. The yellow and
digging the vibes.
Yes, I'm feeling the vibes.
Cool.
Oh my God, you guys keep flattering.
It's modest. I mean,
thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Ade. Good morning, sir.
A very good morning. I'm a bit croaky, and if I develop a cough, I will blame you and the proximity of me to you as being. You can even hear it in my voice. If I develop a terrible cough,
that will be my fault.
You will be to blame.
Mr. Ade. Mr. Ade can't get sick.
But
well,
yes, it's great to be here. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Exactly. So how was your day, Julde, yesterday?
You attended an event, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. Second day.
Yes,
Yeah.
at the Action Aid, and it's about message development and, promoting women for gender equity.
Okay.
And equality in the Gambia, and some of the things that are really hindering the progress of women in the Gambia, and the importance of women participating in politics fully, not just participating, but also they also have the right to vote and also be voted for. But oftentimes, in most cases in the Gambia, we see that women are always like, they contribute so much when it comes to politics, but when it comes to for people to vote for them, it's always a problem. We constitute the majority, over 53% of the Gambian population, and we can say just a little over 5% are in key positions in the country, which is really a huge number.
I mean, the representation at the National Assembly is one of the lowest in Africa.
Exactly.
And probably one of the lowest in the world.
Yeah.
So that's
well, I mean, when you talk about women participating in politics, I mean, most of the time, when it is to go out and vote, the women participate more.
Yeah.
Previous elections will tell you the number of women that voted. I mean, it's more than even the number of men that voted. But yet, the women are deprived from, occupying certain positions. I think that is unfair.
It's unfair. I mean, because a few have contested, more are coming through. And I think the message one has to get over is that even for those who were unsuccessful, don't let that deter you, or it shouldn't deter others. Because they shouldn't say, oh, look, that woman, she's very good, she didn't get elected, therefore I'm not going to put myself forward. Unless more and more women put themselves forward, then the situation will never change. So they have to keep, and it would be good if the parties themselves did what happens in some countries. Sierra Leone passed the kind of gender equity and gender equality law, which meant that the parties had to at least a third of the candidates had to be women. I don't think Gambia's close to anything like that, but it would be good if one of the parties took that bold step.
A private member bill was
and
at
did
the
that.
assembly, but then they saw no interest. Most of them deliberately.
They deliberately exited the chamber when it was time to vote, which is cowardice, because they didn't want to be seen to be against it. If you're against it, have the guts to vote against it because you're against it. Don't excuse yourself from the chamber when it comes to time to
At
vote.
the end of the time, those are the people that will still do campaigns, seminars, workshops. Talking about women empowerment, women to be part of politics. Sometimes the things we say and do, it's totally different. I mean, and that is really affecting our development.
As the saying is, talk is cheap. You can say anything, but live by your words. That's a whole different and much more difficult thing to do.
Seriously. I mean, women empowerment, Balde, it's just more than just lip service.
Of course.
And in this country, that is what we're saying, like everywhere, because they know that they can't really achieve anything meaningful as far as politics is concerned in this Gambia, if women are not included. So it's just all about lip service. So, that real narrative should really change if we really want to have a sustainable, meaningful, and, better Gambia for all of us. Because if a woman can, be a homemaker, if a woman can mold you, conceive you, mold you, make you a better person, and then, you are up there, what makes you think that that particular woman cannot really handle key positions in the Gambia? What makes you think that the woman cannot lead?
Well,
so these are just misconceptions.
I mean, across the world, we've had women prime ministers and presidents. So, there's no reason. In West Africa, we've only had the one. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in Liberia. But you know, in Tanzania right now you have Samia Hulu. So it's possible, and they are role models, and they should be an example. So.
Exactly. I mean, the only time we think women are weak when it comes to, you know, acquiring positions. That's the time we tend to think, they cannot handle this position. But when it comes to clapping and dancing for us to win elections,
you want them there.
We give them money, we talk about them, we
for
thank
me,
our
I don't
women.
think that most times men think that women are weak, but I think they are threatened for the fact that if women are given the opportunity, maybe they tend to excel more. I was, the other day I was talking with my colleague, and I was like, for the past 50-something years in this country, men are leading, but still now we have not seen difference. Why don't we give chance to the women and see whether we will see a paradigm shift as far as development is concerned? But yeah, I mean, this is subjected to debate, but the most important thing is that we should not see ourselves as enemies. I mean, we are, you know, we are
in the fight together.
Exactly. We are not really enemies, because a woman, you don't have a man without a woman. You cannot have a woman without a man. Exactly. We have to stand by each other as partners in development, rather than just...
Although women talk a lot, blah, 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 they talk a lot. I know sometimes it makes very inconvenient, especially if you have the talkative type near you.
Have you been to the National Assembly, where it's mostly men? Men talk a lot too. So please don't even go there. It's you know, look at, just watch the National Assembly. You see some guy get up and they talk and talk and talk, and they're talking nonsense, really, a lot of the time. Look at the mess we've heard just recently when two motions had to be withdrawn. But no, I mean, that's you know, about women talk. That's not what it's about. It's about, do we have people who are capable? And there must be women within the Gambia who are capable to hold these positions, as we're discussing. So it sounds like Julde had a very exciting couple of days, much more than you and I, you know, from the sound of it. But yeah, but what about you? How your yesterday, apart from this morning program?
Well, my yesterday was normal. I went. I mean, I think I spent my whole day at the garage yesterday. Right. I was changing my brakes.
Too.
Yes. You were there?
No, not me, because you, Bala, and Francis, you seem to spend all your time at the...
When I step on my brake pedal, I realize the brakes are already gone. So you hear the irons behind.
The screech.
So I then changed it.
Some people drive like that for a whole year.
Can you imagine? It's very uncomfortable.
You hear the sound of it.
It's very uncomfortable, Mr. Ade. So I have to change them. So I was there throughout. From there, I came back, packed my things, and I left. I went home.
The usual car wahala.
Yes, exactly.
So I was here, but the night before, myself, Francis, and Buba were going home, and we were driving along Bertel Harding Highway, and just because the place they call Mohammed Jah Junction, we had just crossed there, and we just saw what looked like fireworks. It turned out it wasn't fireworks. It was actually the electricity sparking. It really did look like fireworks. At first it was just sparking, and then it caught fire. And so we came down, and I went to the supermarket, and I said, which was close by, I said, have you reported it? He said, no. I said, why not? He said, oh, the manager's not here. I said, if this thing electrocutes and kill you, you think it's waiting for your manager? You know, so we then phoned NAWEC, and they said they were dispatching a team there. But it was really quite shocking. I mean, of all the ones, I've seen a few times. I think this is about the third one I've seen, but this one was really dramatic.
I think
it looked like fireworks.
NAWEC needs to work on changing these old electric poles. I mean, they've been there for a very long time.
What was interesting about that one, it didn't look particularly old. It looked fairly new, actually. And so that for me was a because we went quite close to it, and in fact my colleague Francis filmed it from with his camera. We might show the footage sometime because we've asked NAWEC, we wanted to find out what they did about it, and so we will be chasing them about that. But that was quite dramatic as we were driving along, because it was raining as well. So
imagine if someone was passing by.
Yeah, and passing close by.
So you know, sometimes I wonder if those sparks from the pole, when they touch you, are they going to kill you or something?
Those sparks won't kill you, but if you touch the pole itself,
because I can remember,
then it shows that, you know, there's a great danger. Well, we have the story of the young girl. Who
there was a scenario when I was like 7, 8 years old in Latrikunda. I saw an electric pole spark pam, like that. So the whole area ran to the other area. So I was like, what is happening? You know, so everybody was careful. Let that not spark touch
them. Yeah,
you know, so everybody was running. In fact, people who were not even closer to the electric pole were also migrating to the other area.
But the spark might set, if it touches your clothes, it could set them aflame or ablaze. So it's good to stay away from them, of course. So what else? What's on our menu today on the program?
Well, Julde can guide us through the African proverb.
Okay. So our African proverb this morning, this is the Hausa one.
Oh, another Hausa one. Yeah. Okay, hey, Hausas are getting...
And it reads, who will argue with the fish about the number of teeth in the crocodile's mouth?
Yeah.
Who will argue with the fish about the number of teeth
in the crocodile's mouth?
Who will argue with the fish about the...
Because they live together.
Number of... Okay, there is a similar, there is a similar proverb. Yeah. What happened? Is the UP? Okay, all right. Well, viewers, we apologize for that. You know. Okay, all right. So now let's talk about the
proverb.
Let's talk about the proverb. I have a similar proverb.
Okay.
They said, if the how do they call? I mean, I want to know, how do they call bar in English?
What is
you
bar?
know bar? You don't know what we call bar. It's an animal.
Right.
It looks like a lizard, but it has a long tail.
Okay.
You understand? It looks like a big lizard.
Okay.
Normally we see it walking around sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
You know, we call it bar in. Sometimes it can cane you. Like it can use its tail and
to
whip you.
Okay.
You know, so I don't know how you call it.
Okay. So what's
so they said,
proverb?
If the leopard knows the crocodile is circumcised, know that it's that animal that informed the leopard, you know, about it. You understand? So this thing looks like it.
So this one, if you read it again, about the fish and the crocodile's teeth, is where the crocodile has probably already eaten the fish, okay, and that fish, in being chewed, has met a bitter end. So who else would dare to say, look, let me also go and find out? It's like, don't walk into danger when somebody else has walked into danger and has met a bitter end. You say, no, I don't care. The fish, maybe the fish escaped and told me, that crocodile has 20 teeth. I'm going to find out for myself. Don't walk into the danger yourself when somebody else has already been there. And you were talking about the electricity pole and running away from it. If you see people running away from it, don't run towards it. Yeah. You know, there's kind of don't run towards danger and don't go towards danger. I think that's my interpretation.
Balde, what is your interpretation?
Well, I mean, it's telling you not to argue with people that already know. I mean, you know, people that have already, you know, you have the experience. Experience is the best teacher. So, you know, a person who entered a dark room before you is the person who can tell you, please enter and sit here.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So don't argue with that person. Because the person is already experienced, you know, where you can sit, where you can put your foot, you know, so all those things. So it's a similar thing.
It's like when your parents tell you, there's a reason why we're telling you, don't put your finger in the fire. We're not telling you just because we know that fire will burn you. If you're a stubborn child, you will put your finger there. It's this kind of thing, you know, because they probably did it when they were younger and they were burnt. And they know that sensation of being burned, and you don't want to go through it. But Julde, what's your take on it? You're listening to us.
To be very honest, your proverbs are very
Hausa people. No, they give us some nice.
They are very difficult.
Make you crack your brain.
Very hard.
They will not just allow me. You don't observe me from you to me, but today it's from you to Balde.
You cannot escape. Once you're on this platform, you have to have an attempt.
I have an excuse today.
You have to
but
have
anyway, I totally agree with you, Mr. Ade and Balde.
Oh, good. Okay.
For me, this is a complicated one.
It is a complicated. I mean, I think there's no argument with that. It is complicated. It's not an easy one.
It is not really an easy one. Who will argue with the fish about the number of teeth in the crocodile's mouth? Okay.
You can stand aside and count the teeth of the crocodile.
Okay.
How do you do it?
It's always opening its mouth. It's
open.
Always like this.
Exactly. But
okay,
you have to go closer to count
I don't know if this really makes sense, but for me, I think living with people, you can't really know a person better than the person who is living with that particular individual. Oftentimes you can hear lots of speculations about these certain people, but if you get to live with them, you know them better than all other things that is said about the person. Sometimes you wonder if people are talking about a particular individual and you live with the person, you're like, no, that's not true. Or sometimes you wonder. And sometimes also people can pretend a lot. You can be good Samaritan outside. You can be an angel outside, but inside it is fire for you.
You are a devil.
You are a devil, which I think sometimes if your family members see you laughing outside or doing certain things, you wonder, really, is this the same person?
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, you can't know an individual better than the people who are living with the person. I don't know.
And you're
but
right.
yeah, that is mine.
So the fish and the crocodile, they'll be, the fish. The fish tells you that crocodile has 30 teeth. You're like, no, I'll go and find out for myself. Well, go and find.
When I said to one of my friends, I said to him, boy, oh, you got a good wife. Oh, your wife is good. He said to me, come and ask me. Before you attest my wife is good, you have to talk to me first. You have to ask me first, so that I can give you my own story before you tell me that my wife is good.
We should have used the proverb, only the person wearing the tight shoe knows how hard it pinches. Exactly. You're not wearing the shoe, so you don't know.
I love that, Mr. Ali. Yeah, so viewers, we'll take a short break. And after the break, Mr. Ade just accused me of, giving him cool. I mean, I don't know, Mr. Ade.
Because the first day you came, you said that you have.
I said I was coughing.
We had this cough, and now I have a cough. So,
I was coughing. But I did my test. I'm not corona positive.
Yeah, because there's a new variant going around apparently, which we haven't recorded any incidences of it yet in the Gambia, and hopefully we won't. But
let us still try to be washing our hands. Let us use the hand sanitizer.
Well, people have gotten out of, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, we've gotten out of the habit. I mean, because when this whole thing burst on the scene in 2020, all the shops and all these businesses, they had all these hand washing stations. You don't see any of those now, anywhere. Even the one, sad to say, outside our own office became defunct and is no longer. So we've kind of become complacent and we've kind of relaxed. But you're right, we shouldn't relax.
Exactly. So viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, then we'll review some of the stories we have. We'll be right back.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We are back, and this is QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. on the platform I'm with Julden Jai, but I'm appearing very dark today on the screen. What's happening?
Maybe the screen needs to be tightened up. You should ask people at home, am I darker today than I was yesterday? But,
someone is blaming someone, so no worries. Man, my people need to see me out there, especially Madam needs to look how glittering her husband is looking.
It might just be the monitor that you're looking at, so, you know.
You sure? Yeah. All right, okay. I just want to make sure.
As far as I can see, you haven't grown darker than yesterday, so.
Because if they put the camera on me, I look dark, but if they put it on Julius, it looks bright. So you see how different it looks. All right, so Nigeria, you said the court refused to abide by what the opposition
well, they presented a petition objecting to Tinubu's election. And they did quite a lengthy judgment yesterday. People were outside the Supreme Court waiting with bated breath. Supporters of the opposition were hoping that the election would be overturned or annulled. But the court said that even though there were some minor irregularities in some places, they were not enough to affect the overall result. And so the result stands, and Tinubu doesn't have to stand down. And in fact, when I was driving yesterday with Choi, we were discussing it, and he reminded me of the Kenyan example where the election was overturned and the election had to be rerun. But even more dramatically, in Malawi, the new president had been sworn in and had been in office for a year before the case was heard, and he had to step down.
That was it was rerun for me.
And he lost.
He lost the election.
Yeah, the Malawi case was just...
It had to be rerun, and he lost. But he'd been in office, he'd been sworn in, he'd been in office for a year. And so sometimes these challenges can be successful. As I said, the two that we know, Kenya and Malawi. In Sierra Leone, the opposition had been threatening to present a petition to annul the most recent presidential and parliamentary elections, but I don't think they haven't presented any evidence other than on social media, which is not exactly.
Well, you know, for me, the reason why normally,
Gambia, I think that was the case.
Which one?
The Gambia.
The Gambia.
What was that?
The petition.
Yeah.
At some point, it was also sent.
Yeah. By the opposition.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, we have courts that can hear cases, and we also, every time there's an election, we hear all these cases about foreigners voting in the Gambia, and normally you have these parties, mainly the smaller parties, saying that lots of people from Guinea-Bissau, Senegal voted, and we have the evidence, and then they open the courts for 30 days for them to present, and the judges are sitting there. Nobody comes in. All the noise they make on social media, they've never, since I've been in this country, nobody has ever presented a single petition to those courts to say, we have evidence that people who were not entitled to vote voted. And I always get angry with them, and I said, just stop it. You know, if you have the evidence presented, otherwise shut up. You know, why do you keep bringing this up? Because it creates animosity between people when it's unnecessary. If you have the evidence, take the evidence to court. But they've never done it. I've been here 4 years. And it's come up at almost every election, and you know, the courts sit there empty, waiting for people to come.
Unfortunately, I can remember during former president's time too. You know, normally the opposition send petitions too, but it doesn't go very far. You know, most of the time, you don't even hear about it anymore.
It
keeps happening.
There've been various elections that I think, apart from the '96 one. I think it was the only one that the opposition didn't complain or think was rigged. All the subsequent ones that Yahya Jammeh contested, the opposition were very unhappy about all sorts of things. Abuse of state apparatus during the campaigns, you name it. I mean, lots and lots of things. But as you said, they didn't get very far, and obviously they were not successful. So Nigeria is one. At the National Assembly. They've been debating, they were about to debate this EU-Gambia deal, but it had to be withdrawn because apparently it was never signed, never ratified. But I have a document here because I had made an access request for information. Like everybody else, I wanted to say who attended on behalf of the Gambia and who signed on behalf of the Gambia. But it says quite clearly in here that they don't think this is, it's quite funny, they don't think this is something that should be made public. I'll read that bit later on, but here...
That is the deportation agreement?
The deportation agreement of migrants who had exhausted the process. But here, I have the numbers of the countries from West Africa, particularly, whose citizens were to be deported from EU countries and had, so in Nigeria, you had 15,040. Wow. From Guinea, as in Guinea-Conakry, you had 10,740. From Cote d'Ivoire, 6,990. And this was as of 2019, by the way. And the Gambia, you had 5,100.
Gambians.
Deported.
To be who were to be deported, based on the fact that they had exhausted their appeals for either immigration or refugee status and found to be wanting. They think that it says, according to the Commission, this cooperation on return and readmission as part of a fair, effective and comprehensive EU migration policy. It appears that for almost 1/3 of the countries covered by the 2020 assessment, cooperation works well with most member states for etc., etc. But it had some interesting detail sort of later on when it talks about why they would not make public who signed on behalf of these countries. They said because they felt that these people would face criticism and attacks in their own country, which is, and I'll read from paragraph 17 of this EU document. It says, such disclosure is also likely to damage the climate of mutual trust necessary for the negotiations, as the release of the requested documents would explain the EU's internal views on return, so they don't want people to know what those are. And if this is made available to the public in the course of ongoing negotiations, negotiations would be necessarily and seriously weakened.
So now it's not a question of whether it is signed or not, because obviously it is signed. But because there has been like
there's no obviously about it, because nobody is admitting that it was signed.
Someone
what we know
sign.
is that we know people attended these conferences, and the reason I paused there when you were about to say that is because when you look through this and another document which I downloaded today, it talks about similar issues that were brought to the council that were discussed, debated and adopted. For this one, it doesn't say it was adopted, it just says it was noted. So that distinction might mean that it wasn't signed.
It wasn't signed. At this point, we will say thank you for, always reviewing and putting sense in our brains, in our encyphalians,
Balde,
You've learned about the cerebrum, the medulla oblongata.
Exactly.
Yes. Encyphalion.
Yes, this is the kind of thing that young men used to put in the letters to women. You have messed up my...
Absolutely. Yes, so thank you very much. The VJ and Jules Denjai will be back after the break. We'll be right back.
Cool.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We are back. This is QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde, and we are back. And Julde, now we will, take a look at Ministry of Health. They've launched a committee for the measles verification. Very significant. At least, we're getting somewhere. And we have Mbai Njai with us in the studio. And, he will take us through this. Good morning, Mr. Njai.
Yeah, good morning.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to always be here.
Are you copying me or I'm copying you? Look at the type of, the way he sees his, that's my style.
Okay, that's our style.
You're stealing my style.
Anyway.
All right, good morning.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so please take us through this committee.
Yeah, the WHO, World Health Organization, set goals to eliminate measles and rubella in the world. We know that there are countries that have eliminated, especially when you talk of the European countries and some parts of the American countries and Asian countries. And also even in Africa, there are some countries that are yet to eliminate. I think as we speak now, we do not have any country that have been confirmed to be eliminating measles. And then as part of this strategy, we need to have a national verification committee that will look at the performances of the immunization program and the surveillance system to see that measles is eliminated in the country. And then based on this, a committee is set up, independent committee sort of, independent of the Ministry of Health. They will be verifying and then the activities of the ministry, especially the immunization activities relating to measles elimination and also the surveillance aspect. Yeah, that's why this committee is formed. And then as a requirement, if you form a new committee, you need to orient them or train them on their roles and responsibilities, what we expect them to do. That's why yesterday we had this lunch at the Bakadaji Hotel to train the committee members on the measles elimination strategies.
Yes, true.
Measles, when you talk about measles, what are these and what are the causes of these and how serious is this?
Yeah, measles is a very deadly disease characterized by fever, rashes, and then also either accompanied by a cough, running nose, or conjunctivitis. And it's caused by a virus. We know viruses are very difficult to treat. We can only prevent them. So that's why since 1967, we have a very, very potent, effective vaccine that prevents the spread of measles. And in the Gambia, measles vaccination started since 1967. And then over the years, we have been vaccinating children between 1 to 5 years to prevent them from measles. But basically, if the virus is present, usually it's transmitted via sneezing or coughing when you are in close contact. It can also be found in surfaces of materials, although it lasts there for almost about 2 hours. But close contact with an infected person will definitely, if you are not protected, you can definitely be infected with the virus. So that's why vaccination has been very, very effective. And then that's why the Gambia, since the establishment of the National Immunization Program, that was in 1969, I said the vaccination started in 1967, but the actual EPI program was established in 1979.
Okay.
And then since then, we have been giving out measles vaccination to children across the country. Yeah.
So this particular disease, does it affect children only, or adults also can contact this?
Yeah, measles everybody is at risk of measles, can be infected by the virus. But because of the immunity level of children, they are the most at risk, as children with immunocompromised and then status, and also sometimes also pregnant women, also they are also at risk of getting infected because their immune level diminishes during that period. So basically, children under 5 years are mostly at risk, but that doesn't mean that other people will not be infected. The people that are mostly at risk, even if you are 14, 20, 60 years old and you have not been vaccinated, you are still at risk of getting the virus. So those that are not immunized are definitely at risk of getting the virus.
So what is this committee going to do?
Yeah, this committee is set to, as I said earlier, to support the country, because they are not to say that Gambia has eliminated measles, but they will support in the documentation processes, looking at activities that we have been doing, and then reports, and then on an annual basis they will be reviewing our activities, and then submit this to the regional verification committee in the African region. So based on that, like if a country presents to say that, like, for over 36 months you have not seen an indigenous measles case, then proven that, like, we have been doing the vaccination coverages have been good, the surveillance system have also been detecting, because you also need to, there are a lot of indicators that you look at, especially like the non-measles fever rash illness rate. Every year you need to make sure that, like, you achieve at least 2 per 100,000 population, and then, like, the measles infection rate of measles, you do not have to see, the limit is at less than 1 case per million population. So which means if the Gambia is to eliminate measles, to say that, like, we have eliminated measles, then we need to show that, like, every 1 million population, we will not see more than 1 case. That means, like, we cannot see more than 2 cases per year.
So what are the cases now as we speak in the Gambia?
Yes, since 2014, we have been experiencing outbreaks of measles. For example, in 2014 we had an outbreak. 2015, 2016 we had over 41 and 71 cases confirmed, and then in 2016 we had a campaign to vaccinate children under 5 years, and then this reduced the number of cases, and then 2017 we had 0 case, 2018 we had 1 case, and then 2019 it started shooting up, because what happens here is, like, if you vaccinate children, because, like, some people will develop immunity, like about every 100 children that you vaccinate, the 85% of them would develop the immune response, and then there will be this 15% that would do not seroconvert because of because of certain factors, and then that's why we also introduce a second dose of measles to make sure that, like, they are protected, and then this is given, the first dose of measles is given at the age of 9 months. When a child is 9 months old, we give them the first dose routinely, and then when they are 18 months we give them a second dose. The second dose will boost the immunity of the children and give the opportunity. So there are certain factors that might have limited the child from being protected at 9 months, but if you give a second dose at the age of 18 months, those factors would definitely diminish, like maternal antibodies that have been interfering with the immune response of the child, because some mothers that are definitely protected, they pass the antibodies to the children, and that's why we don't give it as early as at that age. So we delay the vaccination up to 9 months, so that, like, the antibody level of the child from the mother would diminish by 9 months.
Okay.
So, yeah. So presently now, this year, we have recorded so far 17 cases of measles, and then basically from Western Region 1, CRR, North Bank East, these are areas where we have been recording.
So from your perspective, is that a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot, because, like, it's a lot, because if you calculate as I said, Gambia is just about 2.5 million people, and then if we to maintain elimination status, it should not be more than 1 case per million. And then this means that like we have seen about 17 cases this year.
We have a long way to go.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So basically what we are doing is trying to make sure that like children go to the clinics, because like we have reviewed our data and realized that like over 15,000 children did not receive their measles doses last year. And then we are doing efforts to make sure that like we vaccinate them, reach them. One of the strategies that we do is trying to make sure that like, in addition to the campaigns that we have been doing, going house to house, periodic intensification of routine immunization, which we even intend to start this month on the 18th nationwide. Trying to go around, health workers will go around to communities and then give routine antigens, making sure that like children that we are not vaccinated, they're given the opportunity to be vaccinated, and encourage them also to go to the clinics routinely every month up to the child is 5 years.
Wow, interesting. So, I mean, currently, what are some of the challenges that you face in dispensing these vaccines?
Yeah, one of the major challenge is like you know, when before the COVID period, people were definitely going to the clinics, accepting vaccines and all those things. And then, but after when the COVID-19 came in, although it's easy to say that like COVID-19, but like people started having second thoughts and trying to think of becoming hesitant to go to the clinic and all those things. So these have definitely been one of the factors that contribute to the low immunization coverage, especially for measles. And then also like the measles dose is given at the age of 9 months, and then women would think that like by our routine antigens, you give vaccines at birth, at the age of 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So there is a gap between 4 months and 9 months. So maybe mothers will think that like there is no need for them to go back to the clinic for the vaccination. And then some would be reluctant to go back, and this has definitely caused some of them to default getting the 9 months vaccine. And it is very, very important, because if the vaccine is given to this child, it will definitely protect them from getting measles.
So at what age should a mother stop his or her child from going for this vaccination? Because oftentimes what I say is when they kick 1 year or so, that's it.
Now because diseases are coming all the time, now the strategy is vaccination for life. Okay, so there are different series of vaccines that we give. Like for example, like for measles, we give at the age of 9 months and at the age of 18 months routinely. But that doesn't mean that like that's the only time we could get the vaccine. But we also do some supplementary immunization activities to boost the immunity of children, and this mostly we target children under 5 years, like between 5 years and coming downwards. Although measles it's very rampant among the population of under 14 population, so usually like sometimes campaigns also would go as high as 14 years of age, depending on the routine vaccination coverage that the country has been experiencing. And then the outbreaks that you have been seeing. If you see that like you are having outbreaks affecting older people also, when you are responding, depending on availability of resources, because vaccines also are procured by the government of the Gambia, and then like it's expensive. It costs to vaccinate a child, it costs about $1, and then like we are targeting something like about in a year about 80 to 90,000 children to be vaccinated, and then 2 doses multiplied by 2 doses, you see that like it's a lot of money, and this is from the government of the Gambia. Although we have support from our partners like Gavi for the routine antigens, but for measles, yellow fever, and then polio vaccine, these are vaccines that are 100% bought by the government of the Gambia. So we have been thanking the government also for providing, although we still advocate for more, because like we have been seeing like more children, population increase and all those things. So the increase in the amount of vaccines to be procured will definitely help to make sure that like we reach every child in the country.
Thank you very much for coming on the program. I hope all the parents will come forward and at least vaccinate their children. You know, I wanted us to discuss the COVID-19 vaccine. How far have you gone? Did you reach the amount you wanted to vaccinate? You know, so. But it's unfortunate we won't be able to discuss it, you know, but maybe another time we'll also invite you so that we can go through that. Thank you very much for coming. Now we will take a short break and we'll be having the click segment. We have a video and we'll go straight to that video. We'll be right back.
It's Civilized music.
Them say them bad, but them do me nothing. They know my anthem, more that people love me. No, Tomusa aim command my like a barrel scarring. Jealous at time, Bulmasa tried to not join me. Yeah, don't want so much now. Laying on my jamu. And I follow like to the ratatani speaker. The Majalo Amu. They want so much now. Laying on my saratu, mama lo my saratu, opolo ma fitna, mani cool wap out. Sawala nyaore, paski mala taha sense. Mala upper class, mala taha chill for my town, many campaign. Bako di ma feel, chepe di ma please no, mono ma conscience. Yala ko defchi, fuma tolu mani happy. All I wanna do is party. Mane munu makofe, mota marasu man. Te fuma feka mangi fetch, hamane yala mama tachul man. We are not the same, mota ma aju man. Busy living my life, paski merbang ma dollar nya. Yaro wasu makina, laying on my jamu. Ana foro laka to the ratatani speaker, di majalo amu. Di wasu makina. Laying on my saratu, mama lo my saratu, opolo ma fitna, mani cool wap out. Sawala nyaore, paski mala taha sense. Mala upper class, mala taha chill for my town, many campaign. Bako di ma feel, chepe di ma please no, mono ma conscience. Yala go defchi, fuma tolu mani happy. All I wanna do is party. Sawala nyaore, paski mala taha sense. Mala upper class, mala taha chill for my town, many campaign. Bako di ma feel, chepe di ma please no, mono ma conscience. Yala go defchi, fuma tolu mani happy. All I wanna do is party.
We're back, and this is QTV This Morning, and now we'll take a look at the click segment. I mean, there is no need to tell you the name of the special guest we have in the studio. Wow, so léegi dafa mel ni rek gis nañ vidéo bi sanse mala da sanse, so everybody xam nañ ne time bi ku nekk ci studio bi, you know, so ñu ne soo demee ba ci biir marché bi nga defa yow yaa tàgge sa dëj bi. There is no need for nit ñi ñu tàgge la, yaa tàgge sa dëj bi. Yes, no waaye su ma raka cocil yaa ngi over drip boy.
Man from London.
Drip baa ngi leer.
Xam nga wéy bi bu moo door la wéka bi wax sanse. Wow, so man foog ma sanse.
yaa ngi wéy.
You know the vibe. It's your man Churchill Ballet. It's been a while. It's been a minute, but I'm back here on the click segment, and today we have a special guest. He goes by the name Uche. Civilized B in the building.
Hey. 100.
What up, bro?
I'm good, bro. What's up?
Cool. It's been a minute. Getting of it.
We're over.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Getting of it. King of my city.
Dippy King of my city.
Yes. People right now watch the new project.
Most definitely Civilized Band.
How much affair? How much nos? But yo, something unique about you. Most established artists come Sunyo Duga say Arbi. Then they change the name, then they switch the name. But yo, I've realized now you're gonna maintain sa original name.
Yeah.
Lamo inspire lulu.
I don't know, but Jama just like it's a difference, understand?
Yeah.
Come instead of me being called anything else, understand? I'd rather come get the street be or wherever and then no smooth too. Even though it's what I represent in the musical aspect, but it's still me, like it's what I represent in the real life.
In the real life.
It does not take the personal person out of me. How I understand?
Yeah,
so I maintain both, irrespective. I still want to be Uche.
Nice. Uche, you already know the vibe. So let's go straight into the project. Civilized Bandit.
Yeah.
Lamo inspired the name Civilized Bandit.
Well, a lot of thoughts, mostly come songs, see, understand? And Mangno Helat come, what everybody goes through in their own aspects or their own areas or their own lives, understand?
Okay.
And come, everybody is a bandit. I want to understand.
Yeah, in your own way.
In your own way.
Yeah.
It does not mean like come nanga neka sajakat.
Wow.
Lulmo wara tanga neka bandit. I want to understand.
True.
There are so many things that we in our normal lives do, and how we do things to get off a certain situation. Like it might make sense to us, understand, but to the next man it might not make sense.
True.
But just because it's making sense to you does not mean it's
How would
I understand?
Yeah.
So like whatever situation you find yourself, however you get yourself out of it, makes me know that you're a warrior in your own way.
In your own space.
But I'm telling you, in my own sense, like I do that, but I do it in a civilized way.
Nice. So Project B, Civilized Bandit, how many songs are we expecting on that album?
14, 15.
Wow. Uche giving us everything right there.
Not everything. That is like the tip of the iceberg.
And then you have Sunset part of the album, right?
Yeah, word.
Wow. But Sunset, it generated a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Just Bala Julie.
Yeah.
Understand? And you can come up with a prank beef.
Yeah.
A lot more inspired at prank beef.
Well, prank beef was not really much of a big deal, understand?
Yeah.
Man, small boy, you're not going to get
to you, it might not be a big deal, but people took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, word. And now I'm going to make something out of love, understand?
Yeah.
And do it with more fun and achieving a particular goal successfully, positively.
Right.
More again come doing it in a negative way. I understand. Because Speed is my guy.
Yeah.
We were together the whole night that day. We chilled the whole night basically. So now I'm going to play out some album. And then that just, it just came up. And we didn't even take it as much of a big deal. They were just postpartum me.
Okay.
And people already took it as something. I was like, yeah, let's leave it.
Let's leave it like that.
And then
but
it was what it is. At the end of the day, but it became something effective for the song. And shout outs to Speed. At the end of the day, it turned out perfect.
So when people received the song, were you anticipating that reaction? Everybody, including myself.
Yeah.
Understand? I did a video of that song. Were you anticipating that?
That song will ever blow?
Well, if I blow like that within that short space of time.
If I say like as much as that, no.
Okay.
Understand? But like new artists, then they have one song, one potential.
Okay.
The Sunset I recorded it like 3 years ago.
Wow.
I understand. So it was just a perfect time. So the more for when it comes to gain time in it, come the far park.
Okay.
And that's what happened, understand?
Nice.
But as big as it went, I was not really expecting that. But
so you say write your songs. Do you write specifically to target a hit or you just make good music?
I make music anytime, any day. I make music, but like we know the songs that are hits. There are some songs that are one-hit wonders. Some we might think is a hit, but like fans don't consider it as a hit. I'm gonna understand what I'm saying. So mostly it's just me making songs all through, and whatever song I've made back in the day comes up, and it's time, bang.
And talking of new songs, listening of collaboration between you and Hussein, it's like whatever that happened in the past is dead now. Understand what I mean? You're job. How does it feel working with him now?
not much of a difference. Basically the same thing, understand? But it's more professional now, I understand.
Yeah.
So it's both of us on a more matured level, on a more professional level. So it's basically just business. And the song turned out to be
great.
Whatever the song turned out to be. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good collab.
And gis nañ tamit the Kankurang song.
Yeah.
Understand? No one was expecting that. Understand? It came out from nowhere.